Assalamu alaikum. This is Ariba from Iman Power. I hope my voice is clear. Well, today I'm doing something that I haven't ever done before. And so, inshallah, I hope it's beneficial for you. What I'm doing is I came across this wonderful book a while back in Quest of Knowledge. I'll put the name of it in the chat box somewhere, on the link somewhere. Um, I read this book and somehow it made a huge impact on me. It's about, some stories from the life of Imam Shafi from when he was a little boy, and in his early life. And subhanallah, the incidents that happened in his life and in his quest for knowledge, just it just filled my heart with so much hope, with so much strength. I cried so much while reading it, so many things to think about, and I just wanted to share it with as many people as I can. Alhamdulillah, I have access to so many of you through this. So I hope whoever wishes to benefits from it. And um, yeah, you can buy this book. I'm not affiliated with the author. I have no idea who wrote this. And on that, actually, the author has mentioned that some of the stories don't have complete authentic proof behind them. So I would not suggest that you take anything in this book or what I'm to be sharing here as absolute truth about Imam Shafi's life. But I looked at it as from the perspective that even if it's some of it is not the truth, even if I was just reading it as a fictional story, then even then there is so much benefit just from the story. We make up stories to tell children with good morals, to make an impact. So this is, alhamdulillah, maybe there is some truth in it, maybe there are not so truth in it. I would not take it as this is exactly what happened to Imam Shafi or anything like that, but as a truth of an inspirational story about seeking knowledge. Alhamdulillah, a lot of, there's just a few discrepancies, but Alhamdulillah, most of it is truth and can be verified. But just don't take it as the ultimate truth or anything like that. Bear that in mind. That's why actually main reason I didn't teach this to children as a life of Imam Shafi, because I don't think they can distinguish between how we can between the absolute truth, which is the Quran, and um, you know stories like this. They might not be able to make that distinction. Um, okay, so let's begin. Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to say is please do share your comments. What I want to do is not just read the book out to you. I will read some excerpts from it, but what I want to do is share my reflections with you on some parts that really affected me, or some part I think that might benefit you. And please share your reflections on the parts that benefit you, that you learn from it, that I found that interesting. From your perspective, from your life experience, you will see things that others have not seen in the story. So please do share them in the comments box. And inshallah, we can all grow together, all learn together, and benefit from what you are thinking. And one more thing, I need your feedback. I would need, so like, if you are enjoying, if you are benefiting, then please do share that. That yeah, I found that beneficial. This session beneficial. Inshallah, I will continue doing it. Otherwise, I might start feeling like, oh, why am I doing this? Okay, let's begin. Now, in the beginning part of it, I did share that with my mailing list, so it might feel like a repeat, but there we go. So this begins when he says, okay, so this begins when he was just 14 years old, and he says that was really eager to learn. He was always very, very eager to learn. And he would constantly keep asking his mother all the time that please let me go and seek knowledge, please go, let me go somewhere, where up to other cities in search of knowledge. But his mother would always keep telling him, she would always actually stay quiet. He says that she would listen and keep quiet. So she's kind of, like waiting for him to be ready, or Hawarim. So he says his mother was a widow and it was just him and her. They were really poor, and he was her only support. Then he says, I persisted in my eagerness, and at last seemed to be winning her over. But I noticed that she had lost. She's like finally ready to let him go. But then he says, but I noticed that she had a lost air, as if something was weighing on her mind. And so one day I caught hold of her hands in mine, and placing my own head on her shoulders, said, Mother dearest, if the prospect of my going away worries you so much, I shall give up the idea and be content with whatever knowledge it may please God to enable me to pick up locally, staying on just to be on your side and serving you as best as I can. So subhanAllah, he's saying, that she finally said yes, but he noticed that it's worrying her. And there's such a wonderful lesson in it, that so many times we see that someone might have agreed or said okay fine, but how many times then do we notice them, how much it's bugging them, especially with mothers. They will never tell you, especially their children. But he noticed that it's bothering my mother, the emotional awareness really of him. And he says to her that I will be content. So lovingly goes, holds her hand, puts his head on her shoulder, and says, I will be content with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives me here. And it's a great lesson in that too. I know so many times, if I'm not able to go to a course which I really wanted to go to and learn from, and it could be financial reasons, it could be other, circumstances that you just can't. And I just make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that just, give me, my intention, I really tried. Give me that knowledge anyway, somehow. Allah is the owner of all knowledge. And He is your provider. He can give you wherever, in any circumstance. And alhamdulillah, so many times I see that like that course is now being offered here, or it's offered online, or some other way I would receive that knowledge. So Allah is the provider, Allah is the giver. We rely on Him and do the right thing, regardless of what we wanted. Cheerful goodbye. So he say, then his mother, when she heard him say all this, she just melted and tears began to flow from her eyes, and she replied in great emotion, no, my child, that is not the case. What you ask for is actually the very answer to my fondest dreams and prayers about you. Little did you know, do you know how often I have kept awake at nights. You don't know, but so many nights I have kept awake, beseeching Allah Almighty to bestow on my beloved son the riches of learning about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I have prayed to him I have prayed to him again and again, lifting up the forepart of my shirt in humble supplication to grant you that learning, the light of which may illuminate the path of his creatures for so long as the world endures. SubhanAllah. So this is incredible dua, really. She's saying that you have no idea how many, you think that boy is eager to learn. Look at his mother's eagerness for him to learn. It's like you have no idea how many nights I've prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for you to have this love of knowledge, for you to Allah to bestow the knowledge of the Prophet Muhammad life on you. And she's been crying in the beginning. One might think, like, why is she not saying yes? Well, the reason she had this eagerness to learn even was because of her mother's eagerness for him, whatever she had done prior to that, to build that in him. And her du'as, most of all. Allah is the guide of the hearts. And she had been constantly, she's saying, constantly making dua. And I love that, the hope is not in her heart, is not a small hope that you become a good person, you become a good teacher, you teach a lot of people in Mecca and Arabia. No, I want you to be a someone who, the light of the learning may from you might illuminate the path of his creatures for as long as the earth endures, till the end of earth. I want the world to benefit from you, the creatures, not just human beings, the creatures to benefit from you. If I have looked worried, my darling son, it is not for what appears to you to be the reason. It is because I have nothing at all to give you for your expenses. There aren't even any food grains in the house for preparing something for you to eat on the way, nor is there any money for you with which to meet your needs. She's saying that, she's just sad that there's nothing. Finally, when her du'as are coming true, she doesn't have anything to give him. But next part, this is what should give us all strength. He says, but she was, of course, an extremely strong woman. And so she gathers her inner strength. And this is how it's been described her. She says she was a person who could be soft and determined and cheerfully make any sacrifices for her faith. SubhanAllah, I love that. Be soft and determined and cheerfully make any sacrifices for her faith. She soon collected herself and went on to add, very well, my son, have no fears. He in whose path you are venturing forth will himself make due provision for you and look to all your needs. It is he who in his inscrutable ways fulfills the needs of his servants in manners we humans cannot even imagine. So she's like, don't worry. She's now putting her trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he will protect you. So she says that, he will provide for you in ways that we can't even imagine. Then she handed him, she gave him 2 Yemeni sheets. That's all she had to give him, 2 sheets. And says, go on, my son, I consign you to the care of him who has given you to me as a trust from him. Incredible. I will read that again. I consign you to the care of him who has given you to me as a trust from him. Remembering that the children are only a trust of, Allah has entrusted them to you. There is a responsibility that we have towards them. But ultimately, they also, they are under Allah's care. He is all for all of us. He is our Rabb. So many times, I think like, it might be a friend, a family member, anybody that you are so worried about, like, why is that happening? Why are they going on the wrong? What can I do? Or maybe they're going through some problem that, some difficulty, some hardship, some disease, anything. And you worry about them. But, think about it. Allah is a lot more full of mercy for them than you. They belong a lot more to, incredibly more to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than they belong to you. He is a lot more concerned about their good, about their guidance, about the way they are going than we can ever be. Allah is, a better, of course, there's no comparison, greater carer for them than us, whoever it is. So remember that, and inshallah, put your trust. We can only do so much. Allah can do anything. And He is a lot more concerned about their well being than us. So put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then next line again, this is so full of gems, mashallah. She says, I feel sure that He will not let you go to waste. He will not let you go to waste.
And there is one more lesson that I wanted you to take away from this great sign of Allah.
Okay,
sorry
about that. There was a video cooking processing we just finished, so that's what's playing. Anyhow, so she says, I feel sure that He will not let you go to waste. So here she's not saying, I feel sure Allah will provide for you, Allah will take care of you. She is saying, I feel sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not let you go to waste. Not let you go to waste. And that should be our goal. It's not just that we are provided for all the time. The problem, the main issue, what we should really be concerned about is that we don't let this life, this time, these gifts Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, we don't want them to go to waste. We want them to be get the maximum benefit benefit the world the maximum as we can, use them as much as we can to reach our destination, not go to waste. Especially relevant in this time when we see a lot of we are wasting a lot of our time in entertainment and useless things like it's Moving on. Then she again patted me on the head, embraced me, and after wiping off her tears, raised both her hands and made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She said, Allah, I am sending out my only son, my own flesh and blood, in your path to acquire knowledge about your beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah, just as you granted my humble prayers in bestowing on him a yearning for knowledge, in the same way, be his protector and provider and guardian. Hold him by your unseen hand, and hasten the day when my fondest hopes and aspirations about him will have borne fruit, and when my heart will be filled with joy on seeing him return laden with wealth of knowledge. So much wisdom in this dua. She says that you have granted my humble prayers in bestowing on him a yearning for knowledge. So first she recognizes that Allah has already answered her dua, that he already has this yearning for knowledge that she had been making dua for, that give him the love for knowledge. And Allah has already given him that he is asking her, begging her to let her go. And then you will see this in sometimes even in the du'as of the righteous and the prophets like Zakaria alayhi salam. When he makes dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he remembers first that Allah, you have always answered my du'as. So that gives our heart more strength, more optimism, more hope in Allah, that He's already answered. Think about all the things, du'as that you asked Him and He gave them to you. That will inshallah strengthen your hope and power your dua. So, and then she says, then protect him, be his guardian. And so lovingly is she making the hold him by your unseen hand and hasten the day when my fondest hopes and aspirations about him will have borne fruit, and when my heart will be filled with joy on seeing him return laden with the wealth of knowledge. And at this point, she has no idea now when, if ever, she will ever see her son again. But she's willing to let him go. It's like as if he was going on jihad, right? That when a mother must be leaving, sending her son off to jihad, go and fight for the sake of Allah. But this is, you could say, a much more peaceful way. But that's what our children are doing. They might not fighting in wars. We're not preparing them to fight on wars or anything, alhamdulillah. But there is a struggle that they have to go through, and knowledge is their is their strength in that time. That's what they're seeking, that's what they're going for. And that's, I wish they had that love, that striving in their heart, that I'm ready for this struggle to seek knowledge. It's not going to be always easy, it's going to be really tough sometimes, but we live in the age of knowledge, and that is going to be their power, that they go and seek that. Inshallah, may Allah put love for knowledge in their heart. um okay. Then, with another kindly pat on my back, she bade me farewell, praying once again that I might, by the grace of God, shine like a sun on the horizon of the knowledge, and recited the following words. Allah is the best protector. He is the most merciful of all mercy givers. And once again, this is also incredible that he, of course, he's a 14-year-old boy seeing this in her mother, that she has so much hope in me. She wants me to shine like a sun on the horizon. That's what she believes in. That's not just, she's not just saying that to me. That's what she's been crying every night, begging Allah to make dua, making dua for this. That's what she's asking Allah for right now. And he's seeing a mother, a widow, put her trust in Allah, leave and let her son go. That must, imagine the influence that action, those words, that belief, that hope must have had on Imam Shafi. And then she bade me a final goodbye. And so he left, just at his mother's prayers, and not much else with him. He leaves home. So as he left, as he was leaving Makkah, there was he met a caravan on his way, and those people were very kind to him, and began to insist that he joins them, and those with him offered him their meal. Now, this is really interesting. Here, the author says that they sat down and began to eat without standing. They began to eat, and he noticed that they were eating with 5 fingers, all 5 fingers, which, while he was just used to eating with 3 fingers. However, in order not to embarrass them on finding, like, do you think you're better than us, why are you eating differently, or anything like that, he also automatically just, he decided that I will also eat with 5 fingers. He just started eating with 5 fingers. And this is, great wisdom in him, that he noticed it and he decided to eat their way, so that they are not embarrassed. Of course, it's not like a haram manner that he was sacrificing some righteousness. It's a different thing. But it shows wisdom on his part. After I had finished, he took some water and he said the dua. All praise is due to Allah, who provided for us with food and drink. Thanks also be to Him for having made us from those who submit to Him. Then one of his hosts, saw that he was thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he started talking to him. He said, "Are you from Makkah?" And he said, "Yes." And he asked him, "Are you from Quraysh?" And he said, "Yes, I am." "But how did you know that?" He said it was not hard to guess from your, I've spent a lot of time traveling around, and just from your dress, I concluded that you must be from a city, and while the way you readily closed in with our invitation to eat with us. So like, he was saying that the way you immediately got ready to come and join us for our meal, or you accepted our invitation right away, I immediately knew that you were Quraysh. And listen to this now. So he says, those who freely share the meals of others are also generous in sharing their own with others. And that is a special noble trait of Quraysh. So I say, like, the people who are always giving to others, always sharing their meals with others, also readily, quickly, happily accept the invitation of others. They're used to that. They don't see any, like, ego issues in that. So I love that. Great wisdom in that. So then he asked him, "Where are you from?" And he said, "I am from Medina." Then he asked him, "Can you tell me who's the most knowledgeable person there?" And he told him, "It's Malik ibn Anas. May Allah heap more honor on him." So he said, "Ameen," and then he can. "I cannot tell you how eager I am to get to him. It is Allah alone who could fulfill my desire." So he told him, like, he's like really eager, and only Allah can help him. This is again making a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the man said, like, "I knew that. I knew that that's what you want from your refined manners, and that, that it must be that you are out to seek knowledge. That's the only reason you have left home." So um, he said to him, "My son, yours is a sacred purpose, and so Allah will not let you go friendless. Allah will not just leave you by yourself. Allah will help you." And so then he said, I could, while he was saying this, I could see how excited this old man was, how happy he felt at the thought that Allah had given him, this old man, an opportunity of playing host and of being help to one who was out to seek knowledge of the deen. So how happy was he? This old man is so happy that I get to be a tool of someone Allah is using to help this student of knowledge. SubhanAllah. This is the honor, this is the respect these people had for knowledge. They just kind of forgotten these days. Special heavenly beneficence. Okay, so next chapter, he says, "We talked of different matters for some time, and then he said with great emotion, 'My son, Allah has listened to your prayer, and your wishes have been granted. Look at that fine, sturdy camel. Soon you will mount it and set on your journey to holy Medina. That soon we will go to Medina on that strong camel. Since you have left your home with the object of acquiring knowledge of the hadiths of the holy prophets, you are actually his guest. We shall look after you throughout the journey and shall feel special pleasure and we shall feel special pleasure in providing for all your comforts, and we shall ourselves take you to Imam Malik.' So they offered him complete help, like, we will take you with us, we will take care of you throughout the journey, we will ourselves take you to Imam Malik. So he's telling you, Allah's already answered your dua. And he was very happy saying that. And so they left. And Imam Malik, he does, towards the end of the chapter, he says that he recited the Quran on his way. He completed one recitation of the Quran during the day and another during the night. So by the time they reached Medina, he had completed 16 recitations. So you can guess it took about 16 days. Subhanallah. And that's one of the greatest advantages of memorizing the Quran. You can just recall it whenever you wish. And keep Allah, the words of Allah, close to your heart. We will end here today. Inshallah, next chapter we will see when he meets Imam Malik and what happens there. Okay, so that's about it for today. Inshallah, I will repeat this. And if you would like to join the next one, then please do comment in the comment section below, or message me, email me if that's what you prefer. But please do share your own reflections so we can all benefit and grow together. Inshallah, I hope this time I'm just doing it by myself. It's not, it's kind of live, but nobody knows that it's live, so it's kind of secret. But I'm gonna post the video. But inshallah, I hope to do it live with other sisters. Well, that also kind of depends on my schedule. It might be that I'm just doing it on, if I just want to do it as a casual thing, so then I will keep posting videos. But anyways, just please do, again, I will re-stress, share your reflections and tell me if you would like me to continue this, if you found this beneficial. Jazakallah khair for listening. Assalamu alaikum.